Hey, this is WhyBeAre with BeamNG.drive, and today we're going to be taking a look at the alpha version 0.18 update. And in this video, I want to focus on the changes to Utah, USA, because there have been quite a few changes to this map. So first off, West Highway and parking lot are pretty much unchanged, but the building site and the tourist area have been completely redone, and then the auto repair zone and the campsite are brand new areas. Well, the auto repair zone isn't exactly brand new. In fact, there is one casualty. The industrial area, which is where I would normally start when I choose Utah, USA, it is gone. And in its place is the auto repair zone, and it's a completely different design from the industrial area, so it's not like it's an upgraded version. It's just something completely different. So, a second of silence for the industrial zone. You will be missed. Now, since I can't start at my old favorite place, let's start at my new favorite place, which is the tourist area. And before we even drive, in fact, before we even move the camera, you can already see a really big difference. There is so much more greenery around us compared to before. Like, just looking around, it almost feels like a completely new area compared to the old Utah, USA that I used to know. And you know what I wanted to do for this video? I wanted to have both versions of the game and do direct comparisons between the two. So now that you've seen what it looks like in the new version, let me remind you what it used to look like. And right off the bat, you can really see a difference here. In this version, we just have like little patches of grass mostly, it looks like. And the other one, we actually had nice, lush bushes and trees. I mean, we have a little bit of that over to our right. The thing is, though, is when you look at that in the new version, it's even lusher than it is here. Same for the trees behind us. Yeah, we got like one tree there, but in the new one, we have trees everywhere back there. So really, it is a huge difference. And while we're here, we can also look at the information center here. And looking at this information center after you see the new one, this one just looks terrible because the new one is so much nicer. Like, this one is just basically a simple block with some windows you can't even look into. Whereas the new one is so detailed, you basically have to walk around the area to see all of the details. So for example, we have some offices here. We can get information on Utah, and then we can even walk inside of the building, and more importantly, we could actually drive through the building. And when we drive through, we hit the rock and we go for a little bit of a flight that would take the car to the middle of the desert. We will be doing that, but right now, we're exploring the nice little information center. We can go over here, we got a little sign that'll tell us all about the place. It even has a little map on it. So you can say, oh look, here are the roads, there's vegetation, there's rocks, just a nice little sign. In fact, there are quite a few signs like that added throughout the map, which I'll try to take a look at multiples of them, but they're not the easiest thing to find. You know, sometimes you just gotta look out for them and find them, and I found a few, but I'm sure there's some I missed. We also have some benches there where you can have like a nice little picnic with the family. And over here, it appears to be like a storage area, and then there's a really weird sign. It says, please pack out all trash, which is kind of unusual to me because I've never heard somebody say pack out the trash or any sort of variation of the word pack out and trash. Anyways, over on the side, we have a few more offices, which are kind of covered by the greenery. And on the side of the building, we have some air conditioning units. And inside of this, we actually have like this whole seating area with like pamphlets and stuff, it appears. And I really like this area because there's no way you're going to see this area driving. The only way you're going to see it is if you're doing what I'm doing, which is taking the free camera and just floating around the place and checking it out. For me, I love that. Same goes for this area right here. You're not going to really see this one that much unless you're actually using the free cam and looking around. So that's what the new information center looks like. Now, let's drive through it. We can almost use any vehicle for this jump, but there is a height limitation. So if you try to use like a T-Series or a box van or something like that, you're probably gonna hit your roof right here. You need something a little shorter like the D-Series, which works great for that. It flies right off the jump and then right into the ground and sticks the landing. It really stuck the landing there. Is it actually stuck on like a rock or something? Let's see if we try to yank it out of there. Oh, it is pretty stuck. There goes a piece of the exhaust I just pulled off. Yeah, it is really stuck. There we go, I unstuck it. And that's what it looks like after the damage. Well, it's upside down again. Stop it. There we go. That's what it looks like after the damage. And drivability, we ain't got none. Now, just for fun, if we tried to do the same thing in the old version of the game, this is what it would look like. Instead of flying off of the mountain, you just crash into a building. Not nearly as fun to look at. Now back to this poor, beat up truck. We are gonna freshen him up, and then he gets to explore this new area. We got mine shafts throughout the map, and you can see there are little tracks that used to run through them. So let's go ahead and go in here, and you will notice it gets dark fast. So we'll go ahead and turn on the headlights, even the high beams, because it's a one-way road. Ain't nobody coming on the other way of that road, and if they are, well, sucks to be them. I have a truck. I can push you out the way. And there are multiple paths you can take throughout this thing. I'm going to go to the left for now. And over to the left, it just brings us out to another area that you should be familiar with. But it really doesn't matter if you're familiar with it or not, because once we get here, we're not going to go forward anywhere. No. We are done going in that direction. We're going to go back into the tunnels or back into the mine shafts, because I want to show you the best mine shaft there is. And to do this, we need a new vehicle because the tire on my truck popped. And when that happens, your only option really is to buy a new vehicle. It's not like you can just go and replace the tire. You have to buy a whole new vehicle when something like that happens. Oh, look at that. That is the power of headlights on a rally car. Those big beefy lights are paying off now. Although I will use the exterior camera for this. So let's say you're driving along in your mine shaft, all happy as can be, don't really know what's coming up, and then hey, I'm flying through the air now. Yeah, that's just the way it is. There's a giant jump in the mine shaft, and it's not an easy jump to hit. You have to be going the perfect speed to not hit the roof, and then also land smoothly, because if you're going just a little too slow or just a little too fast, you're gonna bounce around really, really ugly like I'm doing right now, but that was intentional. I just kept flooring it until something bad happened. What I want to get to is I want to get to the ranger station in the most easy way possible, which basically means you point the car in the direction you want to go and floor it and hope it works out. And so far, I don't know if it's working out. Let's see, can you drive some? Oh, it can drive some. We're going to make it because the area I'm going to is just that building right there. It ain't very far away. So come on, car. You got this. You're going 60 miles per hour, apparently. It's not. I just love the speedometer, how it just is all over the place. Like, you're going anywhere between like 10 miles per hour and 120 miles per hour. I don't really know which. It's about 10. I want to make it all the way to the front just to show off. Like, this is the big flex here. I'm like, oh, not only can I get to here with this beat up car, I can get to the front of the whole thing. There we go. Come on, a little bit more. Let's get right next to the flag. Perfect. This car has really earned a repair job. So, make it pretty. Yep, that car looks like it's in great condition. It actually does. It looks great. So anyways, this is the Mineshaft Valley Ranger Station located in the West Rock Canyon National Park. And it's a pretty nice little building right here. You could even peek inside and see what's inside. And it's like, hey, you should go visit Utah. And then you're like, hey, I'm already at Utah, you know. Oh, well, then here's what you should do at Utah. And also, they have a nice balcony up here, but I have no idea how to get here. But what a nice view it has. And then the American flag. Salute. A nice view. You get to see all of Utah from there, and there's a couple other rooms around here, mostly the same kind of stuff. This has like some tables, like teaching you about Utah, and then there's even the secret room that has nothing. Secret. Hey, look at that. I just noticed there's like a little area you can hop between the rooms like that. And then lastly, if we go over here, we got a really, really nice map of the area. Well, not high resolution, but if you are a real visitor to the area, this would be really, really nice to have. Also, if we go over here, we have a bunch of giant boards, and I'm not exactly sure what their purpose is. So, any of you guys out there know exactly what they're for? Feel free to tell me. The only thing I can think of is maybe they'd supply shade at certain times of the day if you wanted to eat at the bench, but I'm just guessing there because I don't know that for certain. Now, where is my sunburst? And that'll do it for the all-new Ranger Station. And now let's go check out another all-new building. It's a little bit of a drive to get there. If I wanted to, I could go and try to cut through the dirt here, but I don't think that'll end well. This car is great for driving on roads like this. But going through the bumpy terrain with the big old rocks, yeah, I will hit a rock, I will break the suspension, and I will waste more time trying to make a shortcut than just going the correct path like I'm doing. And that was actually a really nice little drifting corner right there. Did like a whole 180 around it. And now we're going in the direction of the airplane hangar. You can just barely make it out over to your left. And just for fun, since I had so much success doing a 180 drift last time, how about another one, but this one's really, really long? And that mostly worked, yeah. I'm okay with that. That was a good 180. So here's the airplane hangar. I'll go ahead and park my car, and then we'll take a closer look at things. And what better place to park your car than right next to your beautiful plane? Well, I really shouldn't say beautiful. This plane has definitely seen better days, but it is an official plane in BeamNG.drive that is not a mod. Unfortunately, you cannot fly it. There's no interior on it or anything. It's just a plane you can see from the outside. And it's really in a sad state, if you ask me, because like the tarps are completely asymmetrical. Like this one actually looks like it's being held down properly. These ones look like they were just thrown over the plane. It's a really, really sad state for the plane, and I don't get it. You got this big old hangar over here where, yeah, that'd be a great place to store the plane, but nah, let's just store it over here. So here's my idea. This dude has 2 planes. Normally he's storing one here and one over there. That's the old plane, which he just kind of keeps around because he can't sell it. And he's out flying somewhere with a new plane, and that's why there's nothing in the hangar. Well, there are some things in the hangar, like you got a bunch of barrels and stuff like fuel and oil and all that. I like the bottles over here. Apex, like Apex Seals, or Apex like the corner, but I like to believe it's Apex Seals. Got a fire extinguisher. That could save a life. It could save a hangar. Speaking of hangar, here's what it looks like from the outside. Just looks like a hangar to me. And then also for the runway, we have a dirt road. It's just dirt. Not the greatest thing to take off a plane as far as I'm concerned, but for a smaller plane like the one that you would have here, it'll probably work okay. And also you can see over here, hey, we got another mine shaft. Definitely be checking that out soon. But that covers the brand new Ranger Station and the brand new plane hangar. Now, let's get back to the Sunburst, which isn't going to be a Sunburst for long because I'm going to swap it out for something a little bit more off-road capable. And I do mean only a little bit, so how about we do the sports special version of the Abushu Hopper. Oh no, it doesn't quite fit below the plane now, does it? Yeah, we are a little stuck right there, and you know what that makes me want to do? I want to crash into the wing of the plane and see what that does to the hopper. It's going to be like a slower crash, only about 30 miles per hour, but it should do some fun stuff to the roof, I'm thinking. Have a little bit of slow-mo going, and then, oh, it like tore it off a little bit. It's still attached just a tiny, tiny bit. But I don't want to be driving a broken hopper. I want a nice, fresh hopper for our journey. And the first step of our journey is going to be on the runway. So now you can really see how smooth it is. It does have some bumps to it, but for being a dirt runway, I would say overall it's pretty smooth. And yeah, you could probably take a plane off of that, but we are not a plane. We cannot go straight. We got to go to the left, and come on, hopper, stay upright. So this is why I went to the hopper. Also, did you see that sign? I'm illiterate, so I don't know what it says, but it has a skull and crossbones, which must mean it's a fun area ahead. So let's head on in, and it's getting a little bit darker, so we'll turn our headlights on, but you do see up ahead, there is a bright area. What is in that bright area? Well, it is a big cave-in spot, and you can see big chunks have fallen off from above into the cave. Now, if we look up, yep, there's the sky. And if you're just driving around out in the desert, you can just be like vroom, 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 and crash into the middle of a mine. Gotta watch out for that now. Never had to watch out for that before. I also like the fact that over here, like, the wood is just holding up some boulders in a way where it looks like they could fall at any moment. Obviously, they won't because the maps aren't that dynamic, but they look like they could. So in here, we got some interesting things. We got, like, some crates and a wheel over to our left. And then we also have a water area. And as far as I can tell, there's nothing at the bottom of the water, but you can kind of take a peek yourself with the headlights of the vehicle. See, it also goes a little bit in this direction, but again, I couldn't find anything at the bottom, and I do not want to drive into the water. I want to keep this thing at least mostly dry. We do have to drive through the water a little bit right here, but that's not a concern. Again, a couple more wheels and crates, and now we got to go fast. We got to go real fast. Well, maybe not real fast, but we got to go decently fast because coming up, we have another cave-in, but this one's a little bit different. Instead of everything around you caving in, the top caved in, and somehow the bottom caved in as well, so we need to do a little bit of a jump. Is 56 miles going to be enough? And are we straight enough? I don't know. It was. Just barely. I had to kind of come to a stop, and now, look at that. How are we going to do a little maneuver here? Just bumping into both sides. This side now. This side. Get through. Okay, we made it, and here we have another cave-in. And you know, it's kind of funny. It's like, why are you running a mine shaft like 2 feet below the ground? Wouldn't it have been cheaper just to excavate the whole area? I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem like it's the most practical thing to do. Anyways, we have now exited the mine shaft, and we're going to head over to the camping area, which is brand new with this update. It's not too far of a drive, and you know what can make it even faster is if we took a little bit of a shortcut. So let's see if you can do it, Hopper. Yes, this is why it's called the Hopper. Bouncing all over the place, hopping all over the place, but it made it through. And we are almost to the camping area. You could actually make out the entrance just over there. It's like that kind of stairway looking thing. But before we get to the entrance, there are also some campers over here. So we have a campsite made out of a tent. And then we have Mr. Rich over there who has a trailer. And it looks like it's been there a while because like the tarps on the side are kind of all falling off and they're a little bit dirty and stuff. You got like a camping bench over here, a barbecue. Very good place to camp, I would say. So anyways, making our way over to here. This is called Juniper Grove. And the contents of the area over here is pretty close to what you saw with the other campsite. There are some different things, like that is a restroom area. And then, oh, well, we just drove off of the road. You can do that, that's fine, yeah. Also, though, the roads here, they are all scribbled up because they, like, filled in the cracks with tar. And they look like a complete disaster, but they drive fine because I have an off-road vehicle. This is nothing to my off-road vehicle. So there we got another trailer, some more tents. And then, let's see, can we crash into this light pole? Yes, we can. I wasn't sure about that because I know some signage you can't, and I can't remember for light poles every now and then. Oh, look at that. There's like the water hookup and the electricity. And I probably should not crash into that light pole. This vehicle's a little bit messed up. Actually, it's not a little bit messed up. It's a lot of bit messed up. I couldn't even go to the right. So, change it up. How about we go Fire Chief version of the Gravel? I like being the Fire Chief. I get to pretend like I want to go put out a fire or something, even though in reality, I secretly set all the fires and I don't actually put any out. And yeah, just for fun. Let's go ahead and put those sirens on. Surely they won't become annoying. We got a bridge coming up. It says narrow bridge, and this is a brand new bridge. Thankfully, I don't think it's that narrow at all. Look how easily I fit. Got room on both sides. What do you mean there's supposed to be cars going both ways? You're wrong. It's a one-way bridge as far as I'm concerned because I fit perfect. Speaking of new, though, we got AJ's Auto Repair over here. And we could go ahead and take a peek inside and see what they do. So they have like a little car lift. They got some tools and stuff, oil, batteries. And they turned my sirens off because they are very good at fixing cars because that was the problem. I had my sirens on. They came in, hit the button, it's like, okay, we're good to go. Thank you. So over here, we got a gas station. You see in the inside, they sell some stuff. And then lastly, over here in the corner, we have the Acceler-It Auto Sales. So I would assume they would sell cars all around here eventually. You know, just have like 20 cars just parked around that you could buy. And it does replace the normal place I would start normally in Utah, USA. That's just gone now. So that's kind of sad to me because I got so used to that place. So now we're going to go ahead and drive down the dirt road that would normally be right next to where you would start, which I've driven on many, many times, but it's been changed up. It used to be this was a dirt road which you could drive with basically anything and come out without a scratch. Now, though, it's been changed up a little bit. You got some areas where it's steeper than it used to be, like right here, it gets pretty steep. And you got rocks, too. And you got to have some ground clearance to get over those rocks, so the Fire Chief works great for a situation like this. And I would say even it's a little bit overkill. Like, the bare minimum for this, whoa! Those rocks just pushed me off to the right side. That was close. So maybe it's just enough. Who knows? But I would say, honestly, the bare minimum that I want to drive through this comfortably without damaging the vehicle would be like a truck with just rear-wheel drive. That's all you would need. You don't even need four-wheel drive. There's nothing that's like crawling where you would actually need that. Although, when I hit those rocks that first time, I was going too fast. And yeah, this thing is not driving right. It's pulling really hard to the right, it feels like, but also to the left. I think it's just, it doesn't steer good at all. Like, the steering's busted, so it feels like it's pulling to both directions just because it's not steering as much as you'd expect. And ooh, that was scary. Like, if it wasn't steering there, we could have just fallen off the cliff. Although maybe that's what we should do with this piece of junk. How dare it disobey me and drive terribly? It gets driven off the cliff like the others. Now I'm going to keep going with it, and eventually we will get to the end of this thing. It's not that long of a route, but oh, don't you tip. Got it. It's good. It's not that long of a route, but it feels a lot longer when your vehicle is in this condition and it just does not want to steer at all. If it gets messed up and flipped or anything, I'm gonna say, you know what, new vehicle time, because this is not enjoyable to drive. It is very, very stressful because I never know what it's gonna do. Every time there's a corner, it's like, is it gonna steer? I don't know, let's find out. Like, is it gonna go to the right here? Let's find out. Not really. Come on, please. Oh, go to the right. Left is bad. Right is good. Okay, now you can go to the left. I say you can go left, man. See, it just does not steer well. I don't know what I've done to this thing, but it is awful. It's making progress, though. That's the amazing thing. Like, we're still going 25 miles per hour, which is faster than we should probably even be going with a healthy car. And uh-oh. That might be the end of it, though, because I can't really turn to the right, can I? Let's see. Trying to go to the right. No, it just went straight. So, yeah, the Fire Chief is done. What we can do, though, is we can drive it off the cliff. It's because, you know, why not? And we're really close to the edge. That's what sucks. Anyways, bye, loser. You get to the bottom of this thing. You know what? I care so little about you. I'm not even going to look that closely at the damage. We're going to bring it all the way back up, and then we're going to get the new vehicle. What will the new vehicle be? How about we do an Autobello Piccolina? But it's not going to be the one you expect. It's going to be not the Baja, the 150 Corsa Track. I think we can drive through this with this. It's not going to be easy. It is going to get scratched up, but I think it'll make it. And if you can make it with a racing pickle, you can probably make it with anything. Like I said before, but if you want something that doesn't get scratched, you're probably going to want a D-Series truck just for that ground clearance. Because like right there, there's really not much you can do with a car that sits this low. It's going to hit its front bumper. But if you have enough speed, you'll clear it, and then there you go. You made it all the way through to the end. And take a look at the front bumper. Is it beat up? Yeah, it's beat up. Even for that little bit of driving we did, it did get beat up. And anyways, we got something neat over here to the left. We got like a nice little place to take a look at the beautiful view. And one thing I really like is the signage over here. First though, tiny car, big parking spot. So anyways, on the signage over here, we got like information about Utah. So like, did you know Utah is truly vast and stunning? It is among Earth's greatest geological spectacles. And it's home to a diverse ecosystem full of rare and endangered plants and animal species. And then we got some other signs over here that give you more information. For some reason, I just love these because it really makes it feel like this is an actual tourist destination, because this is totally what you would see at a tourist destination. Signs about things around you. I love it. And they got a beautiful view. You see like all of Utah from here, except there is one thing you can't quite see from here. And to get to that thing, it's a little bit easier just to go ahead and teleport to it. So we're going to go to Utah on the map selector, and we want to go to the building site. Oops, we're accidentally in the old version of the game, and here's the old building site, which just has a handful of buildings you really can't do much with. They're half built, and yeah, you definitely can't take residence in them. And also, I noticed something interesting just now. So remember I was talking about the old place I would always start at, which is over here? This is where you'd always start, right? I just realized it's actually in a way the same place, because this is also AJ's Auto Repair. I never noticed that the signs were the same. So in a way, it is just an upgraded version of this place, but it's also completely different. Like, it feels like a new location. It does not feel the same as this one because it doesn't have like this whole little parking zone. This whole zone is gone. It's just kind of been moved up the road over to like here-ish. Anyways, though, this is the old building site. Now, this is the new building site. And the neat thing about the new building site is you can actually drive around it and interact with the environment. For example, we can get up to the top of the buildings just by maneuvering around through the area. So you start off on the ground level, and then we have the first ramp. And if you go really fast to the first ramp, you can hit another ramp and fly off the edge. We're not going to do that quite yet because I want to get to the very tip top. So after you go through the first ramp, you go across the wooden planks. Then you go to ramp number 2. And then you got a little tight corner right here. Can the truck make it? Maybe not. We're going a little back up. And then we got jump number 1. Do we have enough room to make the jump? 20 miles per hour? Probably. Yep, made the jump easy enough. Did a little stoppy. And that's the top. Now we go back to the ramp. Hit that ramp a little bit. And then we are now on the ground again. Which is good, because after you go to the top, you should go to the bottom. So there's a little underground area we can make our way to. Ooh, that was a bad crash into the bus stop sign. We can go ahead and make our way to the underground area though. And then boom, here it is. Although you see the stuff above us. Let me fix the camera. There you go. Just like a little parking area. You can crash your car into it, all that kind of stuff. And when you're done crashing your car, you can go ahead and reset it. And then we're going to make our way to the abandoned area, which you can actually see just across the way. Unfortunately, that is not the easiest way to drive there. In fact, trying to take the direct path here is not going to work out well at all because there are big rocks in the way, and they're basically rock walls, I should say, and those rock walls are nearly impossible to climb with any of the stock vehicles in most situations. So here's the easier way. You go around a little bit, and then you don't have to climb any rock walls. You just have to go up the dirt hill. Much easier. In fact, you could have went on the road earlier, but I figured out, you know what? I'm already on a straight path to this section. I'll go straight path to that section. Anyways, around this corner, there is the abandoned structure. And it looks similar in design to the old version, but everything about the details is all new. And apparently this is a bus stop. I would not want to stop here for the bus. I don't even know how the bus would get here easily. But yeah, you can see like this one, it has a different look to it in terms of colors, and it's got graffiti all over the place, and you got a little door which goes to absolutely nowhere. But yeah, you got all this kind of new graffiti and stuff. Got some faces, got some words. Some of the stuff doesn't make sense, like it just says fix. There's the back of it. Not really much to say about the back. Don't know why I'm looking at the back. Back to the front, and then it has all kinds of cool stuff on it. And then for comparison, here is the old one. With the old one, it has pretty much the same kind of design shape to it, but like all the textures are different, and then of course, all the graffiti's different. Overall, very, very nice improvement. So anyways, that's gonna do it for this video. I wanted to make sure I ended on the new version of the map and not the old version though. So until next time, this is WhyBeAre, and remember, if you like or dislike this video, I will know. I can tell by counting the number of shrubs in Utah, USA. So do the right thing, and I'll see you next time, and enjoy looking at some of the new and improved scenery around Utah, USA as I drive a little bit, and then, you know, we'll also add a crash into the end of it eventually. You just gotta find the right spot to crash, and there will be a crash. And it will be worth hopefully trying to find a good spot to crash. Probably. That would have been a good spot. Oops.